This video is brought to you by Power Performance Products, where you can get $10 off your purchase of Body Storm and Body Effects.
Spencer Lazar, MMAinterviews.tv. We have caught up here at the Mr. Olympia with the lightweight champion of the UFC, Benson Henderson. Giving back to the fans, man. How does it feel?
It feels good, you know. So it's always nice to come to these events, be able to sign for the fans, meet some of the fans, you know, get that face-to-face interaction. It's cool.
What do you think about all these big, huge, muscular guys walking around that you can beat the crap out of?
They're very dedicated to their sport, and whenever you see that dedication, that's something to aspire to, something to inspire me as well as everyone else. Anytime someone puts that much work and dedication into anything, it's amazing.
Yeah, and there is a crossover there, of course. Nutrition, dieting.
Exactly, nutrition, dieting, just overall taking care of your body, being healthy.
So you're obviously going to be defending your belt in December against Nate Diaz. What does Nate bring to the table that you haven't seen from other opponents?
I don't know. He might flip me off. I've never been flipped off before. I'm sure he'll flip me off, so that will probably be a little different than none of my other opponents have ever done that before.
He's one of the longer guys that you faced, I would say, reach-wise. You're usually the guy who has a longer reach in your fights.
No, Cowboy had a longer reach than me. Anthony Njoku had a longer reach than me. Even Frankie actually had a longer reach than I did. Frankie's reach isn't as long as Diaz's, but I faced a few guys who had longer reaches than me. I think their reach was pretty comparable. I think Njoku was 76, pretty much the same as Diaz, so yeah.
How do you feel like you stack up in the stand-up and in the jiu-jitsu department? Obviously your wrestling is better than Nate's.
No, I think we'll find out. He's tough. He's a great fighter. He's proven himself over and over again. He earned the #1 contendership. So when we get inside that cage, we'll find out. We'll see.
Your second time on Fox. It's nice to be featured on a national level like that. I mean, the UFC really putting you guys on a pedestal.
It is my second time officially on Fox. But the last time I was on Fox, I wasn't really on Fox. Right. I'm still a little bit sad about that. Last time there was a whole bunch of hype. First time ever on the UFC on the main TV, network television, blah, blah, blah. Huge, big deal, a lot of press, and I wasn't actually on it, so it made me kind of sad. So now I am very happy to be not only on the card fighting for Fox, fighting for free for a lot of the casual fans, but also to be the main event as well.
You've been able to get out of a lot of submissions in your career. Nate's a guy that you probably don't want to get too deep in a submission with. Is that something you're obviously thinking about?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times I'm a little bit lackadaisical when I train, knowing I can get out of this position, or I can get out of this position, or I could survive or something like that. But I know against Nate, I would rather not be in that position in the first place. I don't want to have to defend. I want to defend earlier to not be put there in the first place.
And how important are your kicks in a fight like this? Somebody who wants to get in there and use his boxing, and you obviously have very strong, powerful kicks.
I mean, if it opens up, and he allows me to kick him, I definitely will. As far as having game plans going into a fight, you gotta take whatever they give you. If the kicks aren't there, but he lets me punch him to his body, I'll punch him to his body. If I try to punch him to his body, but that's not there, you gotta be able to take whatever they give you. You gotta have a game plan. You gotta know what you want to do. While on top of that, if that's not there and they're specifically defending that, you have to be able to be able to go somewhere else.
Definitely. And that's where it helps to be well-rounded like yourself. I appreciate the time. Just a few predictions I wanted to get. GSP, Carlos Condit.
That's a tough one. I like both guys a lot. Both guys are super nice, great guys, just good guys. Let alone forget about being fighter, but just good guys. I like Carlos a lot. Carlos, I consider him a buddy and stuff. If I had to bet, I've never bet, but if I had to bet, I might take the underdog just for the odds.
What does each guy have to do to get the win?
I don't know. St. Pierre, he's been on a lot of interviews talking about how he wants to have that killer instinct back, and he wants to go out there and finish a fight. He's caught a lot of flack from judges, referees, critics, fans, reporters, or whatever about not finishing fights. So I think he's gonna come out very aggressive, but he can't come out too aggressive. He can't go too far outside of himself. Gotta be smart. Again, Carlos Condit, he is one of those guys. You know, if you make a mistake, he can end the fight, whether it's submission or a knockout or whatever the case may be. So for St. Pierre, I think it's about him being smart, and while it is good to be aggressive, still staying within himself. Carlos Condit, I think it's about testing St. Pierre. He'll have a long layoff. He had ACL surgery, so he have a long layoff. So you have to push him, and test that ring rust of his.
And I know the fight's not set yet, but you have a history of both guys. So Pettis and Cerrone, who would win that one?
Cerrone's my boy. I like them both. I like Pettis too. Pettis is a cool cat. I think I might have to take Cerrone though, because Cerrone is when Cerrone's on, that dude is a freaking Terminator, and he walks forward and he beats the crap out of people. You know, he's had a few off nights, but he's pretty skilled. He's pretty skilled. So I think I'll have to go with Cerrone for sure in that one.
All right, we'll let you get back to the signing and give him back to the fans. Appreciate the time. Benson Henderson, I'm Spencer Lazar. You're watching MMA Interviews.